Hello and welcome to the Coaches Dugout Podcast, the podcast by coaches for coaches. And as you know, we took a few months off, but we are back on this new season. We are out on Spotify and YouTube, so follow us and also follow us on IG as well. Now, I'm Shasi, by the way, and I'm flying solo again today. And if you don't already know, we focus on the work of football coaches and their roles. Now, the Coaches Dugout crew truly believe that it is a profession that is to be respected, and we bring you content that hopefully can help our listeners understand this noble profession. And we talk about guests and highlighting guests, and I think we've got a good show for you today. And as you can see already, if you are on YouTube, you can see the man in focus, absolutely brilliant. He is a Brazilian born, and he's also German football coach as well, and he had stints as a player in Germany with Arminia Bielefeld and SV Darmstadt, also in Cyprus with Olympiacos Nicosia. Coaching wise, he was assistant to Winfried Schafer, a legend at Al Ain and FC Baku as well. And in 2012, he was the assistant to Schafer for the Thai national team. Now, he coached a number of teams in Thailand before taking the reins as the head coach of the War Elephants. And of course, he won the recently concluded Suzuki Cup last year with his on his very first assignment with the War Elephants. Welcome to the Coaches Dugout Podcast, Mr. Mano Polking.
Welcome, Sashi. Welcome. Thank you very much for the invitation. I always like to talk about football with the people. So it's clear. It was clear for me when you wrote me that, of course, we can have a chat and answer some questions and again try to help to improve the football in this region.
Brilliant. Thank you so much again, Manu. I can call you Manu, right? No problems. All right. I think the focus today is about the national team, coaching the national team, because we had a couple of guests and we haven't had one who is coaching the national team, especially presently, right? But before we talk about that, let's start a little bit about you yourself growing up. You were born in Brazil.
Yeah, I am Brazilian, as I said, but I don't really look like a Brazilian. And because of the German passport, I mean, my grandpa was German.
Right.
He went to Brazil, or he immigrated to Brazil during the First War. He was young, so he married my grandma, a Brazilian woman. My dad, that is the son of him, also was never in Germany. I mean, he came to visit me when I was there, but he was not speaking German. But again, we have my grandpa was German, and that's why I started my career in football in Brazil, and was not so easy. It was a bit difficult, a lot of competition. And then I moved to Germany actually to study, to learn the language, to know the word a bit. I was 18 years old, but then the things turns around and I got there in Germany a bit late, but I got then my first really professional contract, and then I changed it again, stopped the university, and played, as you just said, as you just mentioned at the end, for two good clubs, still not in the Bundesliga. I mean, lower leagues now with second, third division for Arminia and Darmstadt. But again, I born in Brazil. I was there in the school. I grew up there with my sisters, with all my family, my friends. But then I lived for 7 years in Germany. I have both passports. And I started my coaching career as assistant from Vini. Yep. And this makes more that the people think I was German. I mean, the German coaching bringing all his stuff. The goalkeeper coach was German. The physical coach was German. I was looking like German, speaking German. So actually, for a while, even in Thailand, the people were thinking that I was 100% German.
Right. Now, you said it right. You grew up in Brazil. Now, we've heard stories, right, of Brazil. I think you talk about the World Cup and stuff like that. How big is football there? You have had experience there. How big is it, and what was the influence that you had there in terms of the playing part as well as the coaching part as well? How big is that?
Good. I think as the world knows now, we see how many Brazilian players also around the world. I mean, football is the sport number one by far in the country. We are totally passionate. The national team produce a lot of players every year. They won 5 World Cups. It means it's also because it's a poor country in general. I mean, it's football is also a hope from that boys that are born in or living in a very poor environment. They know that maybe being a professional football player, they can change the lives of the families and all these things. That's why a lot of street football, people playing everywhere in the school. The boys don't want to know about other sport. They want to play football.
Yep.
And it's huge. Football has a big influence, especially again for that people that are seeing football as the dream to change the family situation.
Now you grew up there, and of course you played professional football as well for a bit. And what position did you play in? And what kind of a player were you? Were you full of flair like the Brazilians?
Yeah, I was a typical number 10, the number that normally not really existing anymore. The ones that always want the ball but don't want to chase the ball. With always good ideas. I always joke my ideas were actually good, but again, today I'm not sure it would be more difficult for me. I was not really marking too much, but that time was still okay somehow.
You just said that you are a so-called lazy player. Now, if you are a coach, would you be someone who is easy to handle?
Probably not, but I must say that this also helped me a bit as a coach, because you always get that one in your team, the lazy one that you have to manage.
Yep.
And for being like that, sometimes help you to understand a little bit more, to not be so tough or so to try to get the best out of the player. I still believe that the coaching career or being a coach, the most difficult part is still that part, the managing of people and managing 30 different characters. And I think that maybe help for that kind of problem player.
Right. No, when you were growing up, which teams did you support, and player wise as well, and coaches you look up to at that time when you were growing up?
When I was small, I think you don't really realize about the role of the coaches. You have like the player that you love or you like to see. In my time was Zico, the Brazilian player that was for Flamengo, World Cup 82, 86. That national team was like, we still say in Brazil, was the best one. Didn't win, but was the best one we got. But Zico was also a number 10, classic number 10.
Yeah.
I think he was my favorite player in my really young ages, and my team was the team of my town. I'm from South Brazil.
Okay.
Big teams there with Internacional Porto Alegre and Grêmio, and I was a big fan from Inter. My dad was bringing me to the stadium since I am 5 years old and watching games all the time and having that dream.
Yeah.
Be a professional player.
Listen, you spoke about 1982. What a team that was! That was an amazing team in the World Cup. You talk about Socrates and Zico and Ede and all these players, right? Wow.
They are for us. They were our really idols. Maybe I was 6 years old at that cup, but I remember that. I remember running on the streets. I remember that game against Italy.
Italy.
With Paolo Rossi scoring the goals. Yes. I was crying. Everyone was crying in the country, and that team was an amazing thing. Amazing.
When you were growing up, like I said again, did you ever think that you were going to be a professional footballer? Number one, and number two, at any one point, did you think that you were going to be a coach, a football coach?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I mean, the dream to be a football player, again, like I told before, many young people, and then when you are in the school, it starts like that. When you are in the school, you probably are being one of the best in your grade, let me say, and then you start to dream, and then you go to the academy from on one of the teams that are good, and you are there and you are playing. So you start to be selected somehow, nature selected,
right.
According to your skills, and then this is how you keep your dream. You are going. Some people have to. They will realize sooner or later that will be not enough. For me, was actually also not enough. I was not a big player. I played, as I said, low leagues, but I was living that life. It was my job. I have a contract for being a professional football player. I just mean that I was not playing in a high level that I could say, okay, when I stop my career, I don't need to work anymore.
Yep.
And about being a coach, to answer that, I think even now, being a coach, you always somehow recognize the players that have that kind of potential to be a coach.
Right.
Or the captains, normal are the guys interested for the game, the guys with the good questions. Yeah, because I was a player that was really thinking. I was lazy, but I was always trying to understand the game.
Right.
Why we are doing that, or how are you doing that? I start my C license in Germany as a player yet. Then I knew that I would try. Of course, again, it's the maximum what you can know. Okay, when I stop my career, I want to try to be a coach. But then is the next step that is again big, and you don't know how it will go.
It's a very interesting point, because I was just like you, right? Like playing the game, and then you realize that you like certain parts of the game, like the tactical part, thinking about it, and certain things come easily for you, like you understand why you should be in this position, but some players don't get it, and you can tell certain things like that, and I totally get that part as well. Absolutely brilliant insight there. Now, tell me the truth, which one do you prefer, playing or coaching?
Look, when I saw your question, when you sent me the question, I have to laugh because one time Ancelotti was saying that. Ancelotti was saying, look, man, we are coaches now, or I am coaching now, because I cannot be a player anymore. So the only way I have to continue there. But actually, we are here and we would love to be inside. We would love to be there doing the things that you are now telling the people how to do. And that touched me a lot when he said that, because it's incredible. And I think it's the first time that I say that in an interview. Now I'm 45. I stopped playing since 15 years almost. I still dream. When I dream about football, even if it's the national team or my former clubs, when something happened in the game, in that dream, I am in as a player. Can you imagine that?
Never as a coach.
Is my pass or is a tackle. And somehow in that dream, until today, I never saw my dream being a coach.
Wow.
Or being a player in the middle of my players. Really. Oh, I think that answers already. Okay, now it's a totally different job. I just mean we coaches would love to be playing until now. But we cannot. The time comes, you get old, you cannot run anymore. So if you want to stay in the business, but of course, totally different. As a player, you just play and do your job. As a coach, you have a lot of responsibilities. It changes totally your life. And for now, I can say I'm really enjoying that job, or enjoying the journey, as I said, because we can have a lot of up and downs as a coach. And I must be a happy coach, because I have more ups than downs until now. I coached very long, a very good club in Thailand. What is very difficult for a coach. And now I got that big opportunity, that big chance from the national team. And fortunate we could won that cup. I mean, I'm really, really happy with the job.
It's interesting as well, because I asked you that question, and being a player, we are in a way pretty selfish. We just think about playing. That's all we need to concentrate on your own individual performance, and then everything else will take care of itself. But as a coach, right? And it's ridiculous, right? You're almost thinking about the game almost every day. Your mind is racing all the time.
That's it. I said that also in the Suzuki Cup. I knew how important it was for me, for my career. And that was unbelievable, Sasha. I couldn't sleep, for 32 days. I was like, what can I do? Or the next game is in 3 days. I wake up at 3, at 4, thinking about the scenarios of the game. As you said, as a player, you go sleep, man, and you wait for the next game. Okay, let's see what the coach tells me, and I will do. But you as a coach, I think about 10 different scenarios. Like, okay, I'm starting the game, and the opponent start like that, like I thought. But what if they start like that? And what if they start like that? Okay, I want to go with this. What if I score a goal? What are the changes? If I concede a goal, what are the changes? Can I change the system? You have so many things to think about the game.
Right.
Or if I get a red card, what should be my reaction? If they got a red card, how can I press them? And this makes you really busy and stressful with the job. Totally different than a player. You enjoy. Okay, you have also bad moments. You have you are not playing well. The people will start to criticize you. Maybe you will be dropped to the bench. But again, you have your contract, as you said. It's my job. I will try. I will fight. I will come back. But we coaches, we are so good as our last game always. If I win Saturday, the people say, "Oh, good coach." If I lose the next one, they will say, "Oh, ridiculous! What a dumb idiot." But it's the same guy that just won last week. Now he lost that week, and the people already saying he's blind. How he cannot see that?
This podcast is exactly about this. Is to inform people at home who are listening and to watching this as well. It's not an easy job. It is as simple as that. It's ridiculously stressful. And you said it yourself, right? I mean, for 32 days you can't sleep, and probably before that as well, the planning stage and what have you, player recruitment for the national team and stuff like that. It is ridiculous. And then you've got people saying, why didn't you pick this player? Why didn't you put him in?
Right, exactly.
It's crazy sometimes now. Let's move on a little bit ahead, right? How much of an influence was the legend Winfried Schafer to you? As a coach, how what was his influence on you?
Yeah, a lot, a huge influence. I mean, first he was the guy to give me the chance to make that transition very quick, because even as I told you, okay, I knew I will be a coach. Okay, then you play in low leagues, you get tired, as I said, you cannot run anymore. Okay, you want to be a coach. Okay, what you do now? How many people think the same and are waiting for that chance? And good coaches probably, but again, not well-known people. They were former players. They want to be a coach. How they will get the chance? It doesn't matter if you are in Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Brazil. How can you get that transition in a good way that some people will start to see your job? For example, I know many people also from my license that were in the license, great guys, great coaches, and they are still looking for the job. And this is 5 years ago, and why? Because sometimes you don't get the chance. And then why I must say the influence of him is big. First, because of the chance. And so second, clearly because of his experience. He was a well-known guy from all the world. He went to the World Cup. He played a lot of young boys in the Karlsruhe time. Many players at the end went to Bayern Munich with national team players. And he was a guy that, again, gave me not only the chance, he gave me also the work. He was like a head coach that was really, with the time, more and more saying, okay, you take it over, do the training, do the session. He was trusting me and was being more the guy to take the decisions at the end. But I was running a lot of training sessions, and I love that also. Even now as a head coach, I still love to run the session. Okay, times change a bit. You need a lot of people, good people surrounding you, good professionals, good coaches also, because nobody can do it alone anymore in the modern era. Need good people, and still many people, the manager or the head coach, he keep on the side watching, but the guys are the one to do the work. And you are still doing the most difficult job, taking decisions. Because I can be there, I watch, I can interfere in some moments of the training, but the biggest decision is still the one. What's my plan? How is my 11? Who should play? And that Vini was, of course, great for that. Imagine he was he was older than me. He had a lot of experience, so I could run training sessions. I could see how he react in the games, how he react to different situations. I always tell also the funny histories about him when, example, your best player get involved in a fight in the training with your worst player. I mean, there is no worst player, but let me say a guy that never playing, the fourth left back in the squad, and he and your number 10 start to fight and punch each other. What you will do, man? You must take the same. If I ban you, I ban you. If I give you 10,000, I give you 10,000. But for the fourth left back, 10,000 is 3 salaries. The number 10, he was saying, my friend, take it. It's okay. So But how to handle this kind of situation? So I got a lot of time with Vini to see, to feel how he handles. Example, in this case, the fight for me was amazing. That the train stopped, the other guys come to separate the two, and I was beside him, and I said, Vini, what we do now? And then what happened? I didn't see anything. Let's go. Continue. What? Vini, they punch each other. Oh, I didn't see that. We just changed their side and let's go. He just somehow put the two in the same team. They could not fight anymore. He changed and didn't say anything, for example. Huh?
Wow.
For me, of course, I see all the coaches stop, both out of the training, then continue the fight in the dressing room or whatever.
Yep.
So these kind of small things were things that for me were fascinating to see how he handles. Or after I was also still one more season assistant coach from Ernst Middendorf, also a German coach in South Africa. And I believe is important before you get the position as a head coach, probably to go some years as an assistant, just to see that situations and to know that, okay, you don't need to do anything. It's not your job now. But you can see, okay, what the big guys are doing. And then you can observe and learn for yourself to say, okay, that one I like. When this happened to me in the future, I will try also to see that, to say I didn't see anything, or whatever.
It's
important.
That is a wonderful story. And again, a few things that we picked up from there as well. I think the trust from a legend like that to give somebody like you an opportunity to run the sessions as well. I think that's very, very important. And the mentor part, it's very important. That's one. And the other thing is, you don't learn such things in a coaching course. You know how to handle fights, for example. That is amazing, right? That is, I mean, who would have thought? Who would have thought, right?
Nobody will teach you that.
Yes.
They teach you a lot of good things, of course, a lot of stuff, a lot of data, a lot of exercises and topics, how to do this, how to defend, but what about the normal job, the real job?
Correct.
When it comes to the money, to the pressure, to the competition between the players, what to do there, how to handle that one.
Yes.
And then I believe that Vini was very important for me on that, because he was a really easygoing guy, like an experienced guy that was never like crazy about the paperwork or let's organize the session, he was like always like with the feeling. He was, look, let me see the players first, or you are on the way to train and say, Vini, what we do now? They say, wait, let me see them first.
Right.
We don't do anything.
I have a question for you. Have you ever handled a fight in your team like that before?
No, never. Never.
Oh, I mean that was a wonderful story, man. Now, I mean we are talking about the national teams as well. I think that's the focus here now. Now you coached obviously a couple of Thai club teams in Thailand, obviously, and then you made that transition to international football. It was kind of seamless, I think, at least for me, in my opinion at least, right? And of course there are differences in coaching a club side and a national team side, obviously, right? But what are the main differences, of coaching a club side as opposed to a national team?
I think the main difference is that you can choose the players every time that you call them up. You can choose them according to the best moment they are, and according to the way you see your team playing, your philosophy or your game plan or your way to play. Now we coaches are totally different, but having that privilege to say, okay, now I pick only the ones that play the way I like somehow, and you have a bunch of players, you have the whole league to scout. And then sometimes a player is doing very well and you start to watch them more and more and say, okay, next month is the tournament, that guy is in a good form.
Right.
And when you get them, you have the best of the country. If you go to a club, you can plan, but you never know. Especially with guys here in Asia, you know how it is. Okay, you have a budget for 3 foreign players. They will be your key players. You look CVs, you got 200 guys. And then you brought the one that you think, okay, he's scoring many goals, whatever, in Europe.
Right.
They come here and don't do anything, Sasha. And then what do you do as a coach? In 6 months, nothing happened, man. The next window is in 6 months.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
And then, okay, or you get a fight with the player sometimes, or some player not performing. You cannot run away. Understand?
Yep.
The next weekend is the next game.
Exactly.
That's what you have. You have much more problems to sort it out than the national team. National team, okay, you have a bigger pressure because you have all country behind you, expecting you results. But at the same time, you have always short time. In short time, it's difficult to happen something very disappointed, a part of results.
Yep.
You get that guys together, they are happy, they are proud of the country. You are proud to be there representing them. And then you have like 10, 8 training sessions. Important for you to make the things happen.
Right.
Much easier to coach. For example, I was 6 years in Bangkok United, and I'm a guy that really tried to not repeat the training session, for example.
Yep.
Okay, 4 or 5 that I really like for the way I play, they will be always repeated. But if I want a possession game, a small side game, I try to change. Imagine how can you keep changing for 6 years?
True.
It's impossible.
Yep.
National team, you choose already before exactly, okay, that is my topic. That's what I will focus on that. I want to play with the keeper. I want to press that way. Okay, I have 8, 9, 10 training sessions. Perfect. Let's go strong on that. Put in their mind. Use a lot of video, of course, to show what you mean. Then the first game will come, like Suzuki Cup. Now we don't have time for training. We have 2 days, but we have 32 together.
Yep.
Said that, let's grow together. Then the first game will come. Then we have 1 video already with us about our ideas. Okay, what can we do better? What did you do good? And we will repeat the next game. And here and there, we adjust and we get a bit better. And then we get a bit better. And this was the tournament. We were getting better and better and better and better. And then we got confidence. We played, in my opinion, really an almost perfect tournament.
Yeah.
And won the thing. No?
Yep. Yep.
So that job, national team job, is clear for that point that I'm telling you, easier than the club job. But I know also many coaches that say, come on, I need the daily.
Right.
No, I miss already the few those. Yeah, scouting, but I miss the adrenaline. Miss the people scolding me and saying, this motivates me. I don't have this.
Would you say that it was pretty seamless for you? Like it was easy, the transition from coaching a club side and then into the national team? Was it easy for you, do you think?
It was easy again because I was there already before as an assistant coach. I knew a little bit, at least the process. I knew how it was. I was there with Vinny for over a year. So it was not something totally new for me. Even the players, some of them were there with me and Vinny, with Tira Seals and Tira Towns and Messi Jay. So it was very easy, that transition for me, because in this case, I knew all the players, was the league that I was coaching for 8 years as a head coach. So it was great for me.
What's your coaching style for the national team? What would you say is your coaching style for the Thai national team?
I believe the way the Thai players are, they fit to the way I like to play. I mean, a very offensive football. I mean, trying to really have a lot of time with the ball. I'm a really possession-based coach. Let me say, I work a lot in the training about this. I always explain why I want to have the ball, or how can we control the game having the ball. And I know it's also a huge discussion in football. I respect also all the opinions. I just mean that I still believe that the way, or that philosophy about building from the back, having the ball longer, having your triangles, having your people close to each other to not lose the ball, that you will have more chance to win the game. Simple like that. I don't want to have the ball just for having the ball. I mean, I want to have the ball to attract my opponent, to make them run, to try to get the ball, and then to find the spaces, to find the half spaces, to find my players in between the lines, and with that philosophy, to create more chances than my opponent. That's the only reason. It's not the aesthetic of the game. Of course, everyone wants to see goals and want to see your team playing forward. But again, you have to focus how to defend. But The idea for me was, since I start coaching or since I was playing, was always very clear to say, look, I want to be proactive. Né? I don't want to defend and go on counterattack or have a very fast transition. No, I really want to have the ball. I'm a big fan of Pep Guardiola. Everyone knows that. I mean, for me, the man is a god from football, and I like exactly that. I know it's like copy. Né? You never copy. Somehow you always copy, and you never copy. That's what I said also.
Yeah, of course.
You have to have someone that you can see or that you can listen a lot to see. Okay, I like that right. way, né? And I like to see the way his team's playing. Barca, Bayern, City now. I hardly miss a game. Always trying to see, okay, how can they do that now?
Yeah.
How can I train that now? Like I read all his books about how to organize some things, but of course, you will not put in the books all his training sessions and that. You have them to think, and that's what I mean. You can read a book. I'm a really guy that like to study. Né? I read probably thousands of books until now in different languages, and sometimes I read a book. You imagine, Sasha, I read a book with 300 exercise, and from these 300, I get 3 for me.
Yeah, of course. You pick and choose which one you can only use for your for your purpose, right?
Or for
right.
When I see that, I say, okay, I know why they're doing that, but maybe for me, no. Then I take on, and then you change a little bit there and say, okay, that's the one I like. I think if you do that at the training and repeat, we'll get the sense from what I want.
Now, this is interesting, when it comes to player recruitment or scouting or whatever you want to call it for a national team, right? What do you look at? Because sometimes you have players right on form but are not picked for the national team. And you've seen this so many times elsewhere. I'm not talking about Thailand. I'm talking about in the world of football, right? For national teams, you see players who are on form but are not picked. How do you base your selection on? What do you base your selection on, especially for the national team?
Yeah, I try also to read a lot about that, about coaching selections, why these, or I try to see a lot of press conferences when it comes to the call-ups for national teams, to try to see. And at the end, I decide for me also, if I will be coaching national teams for a while, that you still have to find a balance. Such balance, I mean, is if you know a player very well. I will give you one good example now. Tirasil.
Yeah.
He was not in a good moment. He was back from injury. He was not really playing regularly. If I go only on the form, or Adisak, the same, 2 well-known strikers in this region. Adisak was on the bench from Monton the last 5 games because the call-up. I knew that players, and I knew what they can do in a different environment that they are living at the moment. Because every player, sometimes they have their own problems. Maybe you are fighting with the coach, maybe you are not in a good form. But again, you have to find a balance. You cannot say, okay, now I will get the best players that are playing now in Thailand and they will come to the national team. Okay, will not work, in my opinion, because I still need the experienced guys that know, especially national team, that they know what is the weight of wearing that jersey. And they are leaders. They are not troublemakers. These are the things that I watch. Or how can they help? Maybe another example. I got Kawin, the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
2 years without a game in Belgium. People criticize a lot. Come on, look, that guy here playing good, that guy playing good. And I was thinking, man, 8 years ago, I met the guy who was the biggest professional player I saw in my life in Thailand. The guy is a beast. He's a monk. His body is an athlete body. He's a positive guy. Hey, before I call someone that I don't know, even be in a good form, I get that guy because I know he will help me even if he don't play.
Yeah.
No?
Right.
And that's what I mean with balance. But again, who is doing very well in your league, they must be in.
Yeah.
They must be in, because then you make them believing that it's also about performance. The rest of the players, the young players,
right?
They need to know, okay, the coach is coming every weekend. He's here in the stadium, here, there. If I perform well, he will call me.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean, the balance. The balance between players that you already know and know the role that they can play with, of course, the players that are living a very good moment.
I think you got it right there. I think in terms of the balance, right? You need to get the balance, and of course positions as well. Players in certain positions, you need to get the balance right. And I think you're totally right there. And you spoke about Kawin, right? I follow him on IG. He's a beast. His training sessions are crazy, man. And he's yeah,
And again,
amazing.
the people, when they start to criticize and this, I understand they always told me, man, but he's not playing. I said, guys, he's not playing because he's in Belgium.
Yeah.
We are talking about Thailand national team. If he is in Thailand, he's the number one of any club he wants.
Yep. Exactly.
Right? He will be playing here.
Yeah.
But try the challenge. And I always say that I also admire people that go through the difficulties. Because this make you grow as a person also.
Yep.
As a player and as a person. If you play or not is the second thing. But the first thing to say, okay, I will do that. I will take the challenge. I will go. This is very important for me. For the character of the player.
Now, you did not have much time, I think, to prepare for the AFF tournament, the Suzuki Cup. And how big is team building for you, especially during this very short tournament, but of course with the preparation time, a short one as well? How big is this?
I believe that is everything.
Yeah.
In this kind of tournaments, that's really everything. I mean, because if you don't have the team together, if you start to have some troubles inside, and then you hear stories, that camping is going that way, that camping is going that way, then you will probably not make it. Because we got that, and I could feel that helped us a lot. We got that team spirit from the first day, and we work together, and we are helping, they are pushing each other in the training. Because if the ones that are not playing, they are the ones, of course, they always start the troubles. They are saying, okay, the coach is not playing me. Then they got the second one that's not playing. They get together and start saying, come on, how he cannot play us? He's playing that one. Then they get the next one, and they try to do some trouble. But if they don't do that, and they keep pushing the training, and the training gets more difficult for the first level, let me say, or the competition is very, very big, it's the only way you have to win the tournament. But that other 11 guys that are not playing, they play a crucial role for your first 11 because they are your competitors in the week.
True.
And if they keep pushing each other, and if you, of course, as a coach, keep talking to them, I'm a coach that's very close to the players. If I see something, I go and talk.
Yep.
Always. And if you see, and that happens also with us. Sometimes one player I can see he's already not motivated. He was angry because I didn't play him yesterday. Then today he goes 50%. I finish the training. I take him and come, guy, look, again, I like you. I'm sorry I didn't play you. But if you keep doing what you just did now, then I just can say that then you never play me. Because I can't play you there in that mood. But if tomorrow you come and show me again how blind I am, maybe I change my mind. But show me that I am blind, please.
Yeah.
You are just reacting and showing the other people that think that I am blind. But you should show me that I am blind. And the only way you can show me is not doing what you just did.
Yeah.
Because if you train like that, I can guarantee you will never play. Yeah? And then that guy the next day, believe me, said the next day, he pushed, and I play him first 11.
Yeah.
The next game.
Right.
That things are important in a short-term tournament.
Yeah.
Because we have to understand that if 5 people will decide to not give everything, you probably will not make it. Because we need that 5 also to push the 11.
True. And also during that tournament in Wickshap, probably in terms of how you guys started, probably Vietnam was the so-called favorites, right? But the way you guys, the two teams started the tournament. So, the fact that you guys were together as a tight unit, and I think probably they edged it in the end. I think you guys played them off the park. You played them off the park, and it was an amazing game. And we will talk about a few players from your side, but let's digress a little bit. I want to talk about some of the Singapore players. Did anyone caught your eye for Singapore? Did anyone?
Look, for me, if I'm very honest, Singapore was playing amazing tournaments for me, because the players that the brothers, as you know, they are here. I like them, but Iksan for me was a big surprise. know him so well. He was not playing in that region. You don't get him to know. But even in the first game, when I was in the stadium the first game, we already played, and I stayed there to watch. For me, and now I'm seeing him every week here scoring goals in Thai League, and there straight away I said to my analyst, I say, okay, that's the one. And I even call some clubs that are talking. I have good relations. Yes, Mano, any player, please help us. And was the first player I said to a club, look, you want a good striker, just take that guy. Iksan is his name. And then they just told me he's took it already. Okay. And this is one game. Again, the two brothers for me were very good. Physically very good, but I don't know if you follow me on social media. I also said that the crazy game was for me that spirit, That was fantastic, the semi-final, It's Indonesia. That was unbelievable how they fight for that game,
Yeah, he nearly won as well with a penalty.
Right. Well, they got the chance to go to the final in an unbelievable, difficult situation, right?
Yes.
Because they show a lot of fighting spirit, and I love that in football. I love that in football.
But you're also being a little bit humble because you did beat them with a full changed lineup as well. I remember that as well. But yeah, I think you were spot on about the team spirit and stuff like that. And that was good to see as well.
It was also a crucial moment for us, Sasha. I mean, that game is the game that really make everyone's to believe they were part of it. We took a bit risk, but not a big one. It's not that I disrespect Singapore. I knew they were doing well. They come there like us with 3 wins. And you see after, even if you finish first or second, you think, we want to maybe avoid Vietnam that was favorite. At the end, Vietnam was second. I mean, even if I would lose Singapore, I will escape Vietnam, let me say. So you never know that.
Right.
So for me, that game was not about disrespect or easy. Not at all. For me, it was that players that I told you that are pushing so good in the week just deserve to play. And that's the only chance in the tournament that I have to play them. Because there, even if I got a lot of criticism first when people see the lineup, knew it. Okay, it's a calculated risk. Imagine I win that game. I make my team to feel so strong. For the semifinals.
Exactly.
And I knew, of course, I choose 11, but I always said that was the most difficult part of my job. To choose 11 from that 30 guys that I brought. I have really 2 11s, and they show that. You see how they play against Singapore, They play very, very well that game,
And it gives the players confidence as well. Those who are coming in to play, exactly.
That was a crucial moment for us. Then they got confident. They won the game in a good way. They knew that I will drop them again because then I have the players rested for the first semi-final that also got to be Vietnam at the end. So imagine my players for that crucial game, a big rivalry with Vietnam, and I have them with fresh legs. Right? And I have the ones that just beat Singapore ready to come in because they are full of confidence. They just beat a good team, the hosters of the tournament, in a good way. So we pump, let me say, confidence to everyone. We also give a lot of for that team spirit. And I always said that was for me the most important game of the tournament.
Well, we can't talk about the Thai national team and to you, Manu, without talking about Messi. Right, Thailand's Messi, Chanatip. Now, is he at the present moment the best in Southeast Asia?
I think yes. I mean, I was impressed with the guy from Vietnam also, Two, actually, I like also Juan Dak, the 14. I like that left foot. I mean, it's the way I like to play, controlling the game, football, But Quan Hai also was amazing. It was always dangerous, always with good ideas. But I still believe, and again, we come to the topic we talked before, I still believe alone the decisions, the career decisions that Jay took made him some special player in this region.
Right.
Because he took the challenge and took it in a very professional way.
Exactly.
Turned to be a better guy, a better player. He got more intensity in his game. The J League is very strong. He left the comfort zone. He could be here in Thailand for 20 years and will be the best player wherever he plays. He said, look, I don't care. I go there now. He played 3 fantastic seasons with Sapporo. He was in the best 11 of the J League with a middle table team. Now he turned to be the highest transfer in a local transfer in Japan. I mean, what a Thai player. I mean, that alone, these things that I'm telling you make him at the moment the best player. But I also like, again, Tiraton from my team. I like Tirasil is I always joke with him. He's getting a little bit older, but still the quality that he showed with some goals. He's a legend for that region. But Tiraton also is a guy that plays the way I like. I mean, because he controls the game. Exactly. Jay is more the guys for important moments. You see, Jay didn't score many games, but he scored in the big games.
Yeah, he's a big game player. Game player.
He scored the 2 goals against Vietnam, and he scored the 2 goals the 2 goals in the final.
Exactly.
So, because he is used to that higher level where he's playing, the players are same or even better than him.
Yeah.
Understand? And the other guys that we are talking about that are good players, they are playing, they are the bosses.
Yeah.
Understand? And that makes your life different.
You know, I wanted to ask you what Chanatip's best attributes, but let's forget that. You know why? Because he is not the biggest player in the world. He's probably the smallest player in your Thai national side. But the way he goes in for challenges. I mean, listen. And you're talking about your so-called star player. You know, I mean, you wouldn't say he's your star player, right? But what we are saying from the outside looking in, right? He is your star player, but he works as well. You know, he works his socks off as well, and we watched it day in, day out, and it's amazing.
Let's come back to what I told you. I mean, look where he's playing.
Yeah.
You don't do that in Japan, you are dead. So you should do that. Understand?
Yeah.
And when I had the first talks with him to say, look, Jay, I want to say I know you are playing in a 3-5-2 system or 3. You are playing with a back 3 in Sapporo and a high position behind the striker.
Yeah.
I watched all your last 50 games. So look, I'm planning here to play like that.
Yeah.
And we will not play the same system, okay? But I need you to play more free. Let me say, I will give you a free role as a number 10. I want you between the lines with all freedom of the word, because I need your creativity. I need this and that. But you need to help a little bit here or there. And he's straight a coach. I will help everywhere, man. If you don't keep the intensity, we're going to lose. You know, came from him, so I should understand that for a coach is brilliant. You always try to give a little bit good life for the creative people. I always say that they need to have a little bit more freedom, this and that. But he was the first guy to say, coach, how we going to press them? How we going to mark them?
Wow.
You know, and I was, wow, that is what I need, man. That's what we need, all of us, man. And that is the difference. But again, Sashi, he probably will not be, again, he's a very good guy and very good boy, a humble guy, a funny guy. Everyone loves him. But that conscious about the game and the importance of intensity and helping and marking, I think he got that because he made the move.
Yeah.
You think, again, brilliant player, but you think someone in Hanoi can come to him and say, look, now I want you to see my friend, give me the ball. I will score 3 goals now and make assists. Are you okay with that, coach? And you as a coach will say, of course I am. Give me the 3 goals and the 2 assists. Do whatever you want, my friend. So that's the difference. And he made the move. I always got a lot of podcasts from other countries about the players that I like. And I always said, look, guys, so long we region, Southeast Asia, cannot give them the best league, make the move. Go where the big guys are playing. Challenge yourself. You will always come back. if things go wrong, you just make like this and you are back, and you had 5 teams to go back in your country. So why you don't try? We are far away to have that league. Unfortunately, we will not be J League or K League in the next 10 years, I believe.
Whoever is listening to this podcast and is watching in, who probably get your trade secret on where you're playing Chanatip for your next match already. No, anyway, what can we expect from this Thai team? Strength to strength. What's your next mission or tournament that you're looking for?
In a short term, so I must say, of course, we have a very clear target to qualify for China, because we still need to qualify. We are not in the Qatar group that's still playing. I mean, still 12 places. We just got the draw with Pakistan, Maldives, and Sri Lanka.
Yep.
Again, that is the first clear target. Being in China, because there again, like I said just about Messi, I will say about us as a team.
Yep.
It is our time to challenge ourselves, to see how far we can go, or how can we play, or how can we compete. I always say that. How can we compete with Japan, with Iran, with Iraq, we saw Vietnam now. They play some good games, but you see how difficult it was.
Of course.
The first 6 games, man, and they are, for me, a very good team here in our region. They were, even in the Suzuki Cup, for me, a very strong team. And you see, they went there, they were getting nothing for a while. Okay, now they beat China, got some confidence. Some games they could also win before, but you see how difficult it is. And my job here, or the clear target that I have, even if we still cannot compete, maybe, let me see first. I want to see that. But what I really want to do, I need to reduce that gap. That cannot be that long, that big, that we don't believe that we can beat that.
How big is the gap in your opinion? How big? Okay, for example, to Japan. Let's say Japan. How big is it?
What I believe, again, first, the league. I always said that if you see the J League and if you compare with our leagues, they are better. They are better organized. They have better infrastructure. They offer better professional environment for their players. They have a stronger mentality. They are better workers.
Yeah.
In all these things that I told you, there is a lot of things that we can do to improve. I probably cannot change completely the mentality of everyone, but I can try to help to organize a better league, to have a youth league, for example, being competitive, making the boys playing with 14, with 16, with 18, to play in a competition. I mean, not being only an academy somewhere, but preparing them for the first team. And again, I need a lot of help. That's not only the help of the coach. We all need help from the FAs, the leagues to get stronger, to get better organized, from the clubs. Again, I also talk with people in Malaysia. If you see JDT, they are amazing. They have everything. But at the same time, they are alone having everything.
True.
Also not helping the league.
Yeah.
Understand? Because then they go for a walk the whole year. 30 points in front of the second place, winning both cups. You understand? This is also no competition.
That's what's happening in Singapore as well with LCS. Soon.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're right.
And this, okay, how to help? Again, they are doing the right job. But can we get 10 clubs like that in our countries? How long we need for that? Where are the money?
Yeah.
It's not easy. But if you see the organization, if you see the infrastructure from the lowest club in Japan, you understand why we are so far.
Perfect point. Totally agree. Totally agree. It's got to do with the local leagues, isn't it? And it's fair. It's
a lot.
Yeah.
And we will not convince all the players such to say, okay, but here is not so good, please move. Some of them will say, coach, come on, man. Look at me here, the outdoors. I am everywhere, man. I have 3 girlfriends. I have a nice life. What you want, man? You want me really to go there and eat their food? I need here my food and this and that. You will not convince them all. You also don't want to move them all. So what we need that the league help us to make them stay here, but to compete in a better environment, a higher level.
Yeah. Now, let's move on a little bit. Now, if you are the coach of an ASEAN team, pick your best 11. This is tough. This is tough. But pick your best 11.
It's tough. My players.
Yeah.
Uh, that's tough. Let me say, I will put some of the others on the bench. Okay.
Okay. Fair.
And
Fair enough.
others I would put on the bench. One duck I will put on the bench.
Yeah.
One guy I will put on the bench. Very close to my first 11. You talk to them. They just work hard and you come in. But the goalkeeper from Philippines was very well. Hassan Sani.
Yep.
Did some good games.
Right.
The young boys from Indo, I like a lot. The boy playing in Korea, the right back was very, very aggressive, man.
Right.
Look, the region has a lot of good players. Again, I really concentrate here in Thailand how to get them, because players like Tiraton, Jay, Supachok, Tirasil, Krisada, the defender that is a midfield that I put there, I cannot let that guys out.
Yes.
You understand? Or I have three right backs, man, doing fantastic job with Philip Holla, Tristan Do, Narubadin. It would be not fair to not play them from the beginning.
Brilliant. Now, actually, I wanted to ask you, what it takes to be, or to challenge the Asian sides. You already answered. I think it's the local league. They got to be a little bit stronger, or get from strength to strength. I think that's your answer. Now it's almost time to go, but before we do go, right? I want to ask you, and this got nothing to do with Thailand, right? In specifically, it's about you yourself. What is your future plans, maybe in 5 years' time, as a coach, what would you be doing? Where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years' time?
That's a good and very easy question to answer, because I'm very honest that at the moment I am at the best place where I could be.
Okay.
I really love that job. I love the country here. I love the people in Thailand, and being their head coach is for me an unbelievable feeling. Let me say, I'm really proud of that. I love the way we are playing that Suzuki Cup. I believe that we can make the next step. So the answer is, we have here all together a very clear dream, and the dream is to be 2026, and this is in 4.5 years. To be 2026 in America playing the World Cup for the first time.
Wow, wonderful. And any advice for upcoming coaches, young coaches coming up, trying to make the grade as a coach first, right? Any advice for them?
My advice will be always the same when people ask me that. Learn a lot, read a lot, be busy with your job. This is what the job of the coach is, not to say, okay, I have training from 3 to 5 and the next day I have again, maybe one day I have 2 sessions. Man, the job, you have so much stuff that you can learn. In our region, what I can say, again, I'm a foreign guy now, it's easy for me to say, but learn another language. You will never regret that. You have to learn, because maybe there is some good guys talking German and they are good and you should listen, or there is a book in German. There is some good guys speaking Spanish. More language you speak or understand, more knowledge you can get. More people are writing something about football. More leagues that are strong on that language that you cannot follow if you don't understand. Or I talk here a lot in Thailand example. I went to the pro license here. My C, B, and A license were in Germany, but I made the pro license here. We went to Korea. We see also Korean coaches or Japanese coaches many times also that don't speak English, man. Believe me, you will never regret if you learn another language. If one day you can, doesn't matter what it is, you want to learn French, Maybe one day one player of you will speak French and he will feel so good to talk to you in French, and maybe that guy will score the 2 goals that you need to start your career.
And context as well.
Right. But be busy with your job. I said I spend 2-3 hours reading, for example, every day. Again, you can be not reading, can be listening. I go to the Premier League. When finished the game yesterday at 3:30 p.m., the Manchester City, Manchester United, I want today to wake up in the morning because I want to see what they say in the press conference. How he saw that he lost, why he lost. And I want to see also what he said to the German press, to German media, what he said there. Maybe say something different. So I go there and start reading there. I want to see, okay, Bayern Munich just got a draw yesterday night. Okay, I need to read that. I need to read what went wrong. I want to see which system they play. I want to see, is any modern trend in the moment why the back threes are being so good? What Tuchel was doing with Chelsea, that this team with a back three and two normally defensive wingers, how they can create chances every time. So be busy. You can find that. You have the internet, man. So go there and start reading. Listen to him. What is he saying? Why he's playing that? Or when you see a game, a top game, final of the Champions League, study that game, man. Think high. I know it's not our level. We are in Asia, but they are playing the big game. They're playing the same football. It's still football that we are talking about. Yeah, but be busy. I said always to my staff always. I always say, guys, be busy. Don't tell me that you don't have something to learn today. You always have. You always have. Be busy. Try to understand. Give me something. I want tomorrow that you tell me something about football.
I like that.
You understand what happened there? How did they play? Why they play a back three? Why they play a back? What do you think? Yeah? Or whatever. I have hundreds of histories from what I'm telling you about being busy with the job.
Yeah, I like that.
I want to watch a game and for fun. Yeah, I watch games before also for fun, but I want to understand the game. Yeah. For that, you have to read something. There is also many books available. There is many people talking and writing about football. Again, in different language, but especially with the internet. You just need to go to good people that are, not experts, but that people that are former coach, now they are on TV, they are trying to explain. And again, the coaches, press cons, they will tell you something, what they do, how they think, why they think. Maybe you will get something for your team. Then maybe your team, I remember that now. That could be a good idea. Why not? I have a player similar to that one that we talk about. This is how you learn. You are not copying people. You are trying to adapt to what the big guns are doing, to adapt to what you are doing.
Yep. How many languages do you speak, by the way, Mano?
Okay. Good, really good. I speak 4.
4?
4. If
English, German,
Portuguese, and Spanish.
Portuguese, of course, and Spanish.
Yeah, these 4 I speak really good. Really for everything.
I tell you what, your English is perfect. Perfect. No. Your English is perfect. Brilliant.
Believe me, it's not, but it's enough for that.
Yeah.
Work.
Brilliant.
Never miss something because of not knowing English.
Yeah.
We always have a good conversation. We will always be able to explain you. I will be always able to understand you. This is with all the other 3. But again, now I start to communicate a little bit more in Thai also, understand also Thai, Greek. I also was 2 years in Cyprus. That time I was speaking actually okay already, but now it's a long time ago. But again, be busy because the football is brilliant and it's huge. You have a lot of things to learn. And language for me are important, not only tactical. Language is important for your career as a coach. If you wanna, again, because people sometimes complain, but I don't get a job. I said, okay, make your life a little bit brighter. You are Thai, you speak only Thai, where you have a job in Thailand. Okay, you are Thai, you speak 3 languages. Oh, now you have 20 countries where you can work.
Yeah, the options get wider, right? And brilliant.
One thing that you should do as a coach. Why not?
Yeah. Mr. Mano Polking, thank you so much for being on the Coaches Dugout Podcast. It has been absolutely brilliant, and I think it has been, and this podcast is all about that. It's about educating the public, educating coaches as well, because we are a community, one community, the coaching community, and for a national coach like you who has been successful with Thailand recently in the Suzuki Cup to come here and to share, and little nuggets of information and stuff that we don't know, right? And amazing stories as well. So the next time, coaches, if your players do fight, just walk away. and no,
so it always works, nah? I'm not guaranteed that.
I'm just kidding. No, but brilliant stories, Mano. Thank you so much for being on the Coaches Dugout Podcast. And I think I want to leave you and listeners and those who are watching at home with these 2 words: get busy, because I think that is a wonderful way to give advice to coaches that are coming up. Thank you so much again, Mano Polking. And in the meantime, if you're listening to us and you're watching us, please follow us, subscribe to us. We are on Spotify, YouTube, now we are everywhere actually. So please don't forget to do that as well. Till the next episode, we are the Coaches Dugout Podcast, a podcast for coaches by coaches. Thank you again. See you guys.
Welcome. Bye bye.
Right.